been talking to the guys just about reviewing what we had already got accomplished. So we'll line up and put a good product out there.
How different is this bowl game? How different does it feel because you're playing a team that used to be kind of a pretty intense rival?
Yeah, it makes my job a little easier, probably, to be honest with you, because there is a lot of familiarity with them. We can, pull up the tape from last year and pull up all the tape this year, and it makes sense to us a little bit more than, say, a lot of the Big 12 opponents were this year. For 9 straight games, we were watching an opponent we really didn't know very well. So it made our job just a little bit easier. And then from a motivational standpoint, because there is familiarity with them, amongst our players, then, probably again, makes my job a little bit easier to get these guys motivated to play.
Any academic casualties or any guys who didn't make the trip?
Joey Madsen, that's already been out there, I know, so disappointing that he didn't take care of business. The expectation for our guys is to go to class and to get good grades and leave West Virginia with a good quality education and a degree. And Joey fell short of that, and we're disappointed that he did.
You know the decision on how you're going to cover that for the game?
Yeah.
Ready to share it yet? Or?
Nah, not really. That's for me to know and for you guys to try to figure out as soon as you possibly can.
Everybody says,
I think you understand that as well. I'm not being mean by any stretch of the imagination.
Everybody says it's going to be a shootout. Does that put a lot of pressure on the defenses? What do you think?
Well, every game that we played in this year, everybody says it's going to be a shootout. I'm looking forward to see our defense out there, see if we've made some improvements, and I think we have. I like the direction where we're going. Coach Patterson's done a great job of getting guys lined up and motivating them, and I think we'll be ready to play. Syracuse got great offense. That's been talked about a lot. They're similar to us. More similar to us than what I remembered a year ago. But good quality quarterback that gets his guys playing hard. Veteran offensive line, quality backs. Good receivers. So they're pretty similar to what we are offensively, and the numbers are pretty similar as well.
Defensively, you talked about Syracuse's blitzes a lot back at home. Can you talk about what that means to not have Joe there in the middle, losing that consistency, losing the guy who's obviously really experienced in the position?
You're trying to cost me some sleep tonight, right?
I'm not trying to cost
Pointing
you
out
sleep.
the obvious. They're a very good, well-coached defense that plays hard. They play with tremendous effort. The scheme is tricky. They're going to blitz us. Last year they had their first 18 blitzes were all different, so that makes it challenging on us from a coach's standpoint. It's going to be challenging for us up front to be able to handle that. Probably going to rely on Gino to kind of see some things more so than we have in the past. Gino's experienced and he understands the game as good as any quarterback I've ever been around, to where he can point out a lot of the blitzes and get us targeted. To whereas in the past we've relied on the center to do that. I think Gino can do that.
Were you a baseball fan growing up, and can you speak to the sort of unique nature of playing football?
I really wasn't a baseball fan. When you grew up in Iowa, you really don't have anybody to follow. The Cubs were the closest one, which was 5 hours away. I do have a tremendous amount of respect for the Yankees. I was fortunate to be here this past summer. I brought my son here, and we took in a game and toured all the facilities, and is obviously very impressive. I've been telling the guys about how impressive it is, and they're anxious to get here to be able to see it for themselves.
Dana, you said you got a lot of good work done in Morgantown. The last time you worked was last Friday. It's 8 days without a lot of real hitting. What's that do?
Probably had a forfeit. It's not ideal. This is my 13th straight bowl game, and all 13 of them have been a different approach. When it's a different city, when it's a different time, when it's a different opponent, when it's different facilities. Everything's different. You can go back to the same bowl game, and because of timing or whatever, it can be a different situation. So, we knew we had to get a lot of our work done. We got a lot of it on tape. We can meet a bunch and try to refresh these guys. We're going to have to rely on a bunch of older guys like Gino and Tavon and some guys that have played a lot of ball to be able to get out there and get the job done.
If the weather's bad tomorrow, do you even try to go out just to get acclimated?
Oh yeah. We don't. We have an indoor in West Virginia that we rarely use because we would rather go outside. We would have been more than happy to go outside today. This should clear out of here, and we should be able to go out the next 2 days and get some more done.
Are you going to miss any other starters? I know you mentioned Madsen, but everybody else made it?
Everybody else, sir.
You made the decision not to go outside today.
I did, yeah. I'm becoming a very good weatherman. Like, I study that thing pretty hard, and I've been dead on here the last few times. Would have been tough.
Whatever the plan to replace Joey is, did you have time in Morgantown to at least start implementing that?
Yep, we did. We'll be in good shape.
You mentioned this being the real senior day, when the other senior day kind of happened. I mean, how much have you noticed any kind of urgency or realization from those guys that this is it?
We worked for about 4 hours a day, and it was a very attentive, very spirited, very high focus, high tempo work for 4 hours. So I think that answers your question. We could have made a bunch of excuses about why we didn't want to get any work done today, and we didn't. And it was led by Gino and Tavon and Stedman and Sean Alston and George Wright and all those seniors that want to play together for one more time.
So what did you